Hello and welcome to a stamping project with CJ Card Creations. My name is Christy Hillock and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Salt Lake City. I'm so glad that you're joining me. Today I wanted to show you just a quick and easy hand sanitizer holder. So we'll make this cute little box and decorate it and it'll be ready to go. Now what I used are the pocket backs from Bath & Body Works. When you get them on sale, they're anywhere from $1.50 to, about $1.50 on sale, but regularly $1.95. So this one is Christmas Mimosa, and I took my inspiration from the colors on the actual sanitizer. So I'm going to set that off to the side and let's get started. You'll start with a piece of polished pink cardstock that's cut to 6 inches by 3 inches, 3 3/4. And then you'll bring in your Stampin' Trimmer, and I have actually already scored this, but I'll show you quickly. So I use this side for anything less than 1 inch on my Stampin' Trimmer. So I am just going to line this up with that 1 inch mark, making sure that this is flush with the lip of the top of the trimmer. And now I'll run my scoring blade, rotate it 180 degrees, and do it at the 1 inch mark again. And then I'm going to do 2.5 inches here on the long side. And I am using this side for anything over 1 inch. And then I'm going to move it to 3.5 inches and score, and I'm all done. So you will be able to set your trimmer aside and now burnish these score lines just to make sure that everything is nice and square. All right, and now you're gonna bring in your snips and just snip up these little flaps to that first score line. And you will want to miter these little edges here. There we go. And flip it over and do the same thing. Okay, get rid of all of these little bits. And as you can see, our box is coming together really nice and quickly. We don't need to do anything with these little tabs except fold them in. And now I'm going to put adhesive, and I am using my liquid glue again because this is a 3D project. You could also use your Stampin' Seal or your tear and tape, just not regular seal for this because it doesn't hold well enough for 3D. And you'll fold these in and then fold in the last flaps. And then I just always like to kind of wiggle it and make sure that the top is lined up. If the bottom isn't perfect, it's less noticeable, but the top edges I want to be smooth. So we will let that dry for just a moment, and you can see that just drops right in perfectly. Okay, the next thing while that is drying that I want to do is bring in a piece of gorgeous Grape cardstock and my Label Me. I think this one is Lovely. We're going to use both the Label Me Lovely and the Label Me Fancy for this project. So I'm going to punch 2 of these, one for the front and one for the back. There we go. And now let's do a little bit of stamping. So I'm just going to snip off this so that I don't have trouble getting my punch to fit. And I'm going to bring in stamps from the Stars Are Shining stamp set. So we'll use, this is actually 1 stamp and it coordinates with the punch. And then we'll use Joy to the World for our sentiment. So we are also using basic white cardstock and polished pink ink. So we'll get this inked up nicely. Now when you're using photopolymer, it is nice that you can see through it to make sure, you know, you've got good ink, good positioning. And then I'm also going to bring in a piece of polished pink cardstock that I will stamp the sentiment in Memento black. All right, so I'm just going to put it right here. And then I'm going to bring in the Label Me Fancy, I think, punch. And I'm just going to slide this in so that it's centered and there's not too much space above the word joy. So that looks pretty straight to me. Pop that out. Okay. And now that we've given our polished pink ink a little bit of time to dry, we're going to go ahead and punch out our stars or snowflakes or whatever you would like them to be. So that's all lined up, and I'm just looking at all of the different images to make sure that the white space around the stamped image is pretty even. And then I will punch those out. And we can actually do our decorating. So I'm going to take one of my gorgeous grape labels and just start building my my stars. Now I'll bring this back in too so that you can see a little bit of what the goal is. Obviously it won't be exactly the same. So I'm just getting some liquid glue on here, maybe. There we go. And we'll build that right up there. Now again, liquid glue is really nice because you do have a little bit of wiggle room. And I do want some purple showing in between my stars just so that it doesn't look quite like such a blob. I'm going to need a new glue today. All right, so we'll stick that up there and then bring this little bitty one and we'll go right there. My fingers are sticky. Okay, now I'm also going to use some dimensionals to pop up the sentiment. And that will come just down here. And I'm trying to decide, I think that I do want to add this star as well. And this one I'm going to use a dimensional, a mini dimensional for. And get that just like that. And now we're ready to bring in our ribbon. So if I can find what I'm using. I buried it. Okay, so this is from the Forever Fern combo pack of ribbon, and I'm just using the white linen. It's beautiful, it's easy to tie, and it goes with just about everything. So I've used a lot of this one. Okay, so I'm just going to wrap this, and this is what keeps the sanitizer in your box until you're ready for your recipient to get it. So just get this bow finished. And then once you've got it sort of roughly tied, you can pull the ears and the loops until you, or the tails and the loops, until you're happy with how the bow is sitting. So there we go. Now, if you see here, this seam is what I want to be at the back of my box. So I'm going to turn this up and put our decorated panel along here. And you know what? We're out of glue, so this one's going to be popped up. A lot of times when I'm mailing cards, I try not to have more than one layer of dimensionals, but since this isn't going in the mail, we can have as many layers as we would like. So get this here. And then just get it to where it's centered on the box. And there you go. You have a quick and easy project that you can do for stockings or office mates. Hope you enjoyed this. I would really appreciate it if you like and share my video, subscribe to my channels, and if you need any of these crafting supplies, I would love your business and I would love to help you figure out exactly what you should get. So give me a call if you ever need anything, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.